Everyone. This is the Northern Virginia IBD Meetup. And this month, we're super lucky again to have a super special speaker, the winner of the 2023 Stock Championship. And rarely have we had a person who's a winner speak to us. So we're all looking forward to it. I haven't met Goverdhan in person before, only by email. So this is my first time as well. So I hope everybody enjoys the presentation. And with that being said, Goverdhan, go for it. And by the way, thank you so much for speaking to us. We
Yeah,
really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
no, thanks. I have to thank you all, Vas, and for setting this up, and for inviting me as a guest speaker for IBD Meetup, North Virginia IBD Meetup. So hopefully I'll utilize this time to present my strategy, my style, my way of trading to the wider audience. And I have covered much of this in my Traderland interview. And also I released a free masterclass, 1.5 hour masterclass, and I had it on my website. I went through the setups and what I do every day, like all the strategy for free for the audience. But maybe I take this opportunity as well to go over in detail, in depth, some of those topics and some of my strategies, and maybe I'll have a wider audience will have a look at it. So that said, I have this presentation and let me jump into it. Today, first I'll start with my background, how I got introduced to trading, what I was doing before that, and all, and my state, and then I'll go through my trading style and my routine, daily routines and weekly routine, and what I do before the market opens and what I do after the market ends, and what will I do, what would be my routine over the weekend, so like that, and then I'll go through some of my setups, the technical setups and scans, how I scan them for those runners, and how the stocks will come into my watch list, how will be I scanning, and then from there, how will I enter a trade, how will I manage a trade, how will I take a loss or something like that, and how will I know position size accordingly. So all those details, and then I'll show my recent 2024 trades, and as well as my trades which made a big impact in 2023 to contribute to the USIC winning the championship. So I'll go through that, and then later we'll have the Q&A session at the end, towards the end of the presentation. Okay, coming to the background wise, born in India, born and brought up there. I did my bachelor's from Usmania University in Telangana. I came to USA on student visa in 2004, and I did master's in electrical and computer engineering from University of Nevada, Las Vegas. So I did master's from 2004 to 2006, and after that I started my career as a software engineer. And then later on, marriage and then kids, everything, that the usual routine stuff was happening. And then since from my childhood, I was fascinated or passionate about filmmaking and all. So I drifted. That was my intention, even before I came to USA, or while I was doing my job, I always wanted to get into filmmaking. So I did some filmmaking courses, did few short films, and then later eventually I made a full-length feature film in India. It got released in 2017 and it got bombed. I didn't do well. It was a flop. And after 2018, all my dreams were shattered. I don't know what to do with my life and with my career, because software engineering, the job is there, but it's not like the fulfilling thing to me, personally. Yeah, I through the job but I'm a very good developer, and very good at academics too, but something that I don't enjoy much. So from 2018, after that, I was laying low, and I was going with the flow with the life and all. And then later, towards the end of 2019 and 2020, a good friend of mine, he introduced me to trading. And I got started with IBD, actually, his Investors Business Daily. He was following Can Slim strategy, and he introduced me to that. I got subscribed to Swing Report, I think, the Swing Trader. There was some IBD tool that I subscribed to, and then Market Smith as well, the free trials, all those things. And I was looking at the charts. Then the price action was completely new. I don't understand. I was not understanding what I was looking at. But I made some trades like Netflix, EDU, some of the trades that I couldn't remember. And then they turned out to be winners. And then I thought there will be some career I can make out of this trading. Anyways, I was not doing anything in the personal life. So apart from my job, I was not doing much that I enjoy. So yeah, I started trading, and then COVID hit, and everything got remote. Now my job, instead of going to office, I was sitting at home. They have time. So I was liking the earlier I had this mindset of trading as gambling kind of a thing, that maybe it's like going into casino or like that, and then no, I don't, it's all gambling. I'll win by luck, not by any strategy. So like that. But after looking at IBD, those tools and all those market smith charts, patterns, I got some confidence saying that, okay, maybe there is some strategy in it. Maybe if I learn properly and apply these techniques, then I could make money and all those things. So then that's what I could see in the initial few months with trying the swing trading. Then since I always wanted to learn and trade, or learn and do things, like even if in filmmaking or even in academics, I always used to learn first and then do practice it later. That's why even after COVID hit, time I wanted to learn from a guru or from a legend, or who is the best at this swing trading, and then implement that. That's how I got to know Mark Minervini from Twitter. So I was following all his tweets. I was following him religiously. I bought his books, all 3 books. I read them all. And then I joined MPA, Minervini Private Access, in August 2020. And then I was listening and following Mark religiously. I was taking notes whenever he speaks. I was a curious learner, a curious student, just grasping everything, whatever he teaches. And within few months after that, I could able to read the chart patterns, could see the price action clearly a little bit compared to the beginning. And then there was so many videos, tutorials in the MPA platform that I went through over and over again. I took notes and also was getting better at it, but still portfolio wise, I was not doing great. There were but because I was not following the alerts as is, I was just making my own making my own calls, because eventually I wanted to build a career myself and not to follow any alerts like that, because I want to learn myself. So but anyways, it's a small account that I had, and also I have this 401k account from the job. I was just trying the swing trading, learning from that, and yeah, I was only risking small and learning. But I was not getting the traction. I was somehow, for some reason, swinging. I was not getting the traction, and 2021 started. And everybody in 2020, they're on Twitter and all, they're making money, and they can see all these portfolios exploding. But my portfolio or my trades are not doing good. So I was like, what's happening and all. And then in 2021, mid 2021, I switched to day trading, thinking that maybe swing is not my style. And then once I switched to day trading, and then I could see some profitability in the initial days, and then later I had to struggle too. But at the same time, but I felt I had more control here in day trading rather than swing trading. And I'm getting same percentage moves bigger, actually better percentage magnitude wise. So there is better magnitude moves happening here in intraday rather than swings. So that's why I can explain more in the later presentation about that. But yeah, so I switched to day trading in 2021 mid, and then that's how I started from then on. And then 2023 USIC championship that's something that I didn't dream of, or that I didn't even think of, because in the beginning of 2023, I was not even profitable. I was only like 2.5 years, 22, actually 1.5 year into my day trading. I was not profitable, and I was still struggling, but just to be accountable for myself. And I saw Mark Minervini win the USIC championship in 2021, I think. Yeah, in the $1 million division. And he won earlier too in 97. So I just wanted to, and in some point of future, I wanted to get championship myself too. So I just want to get a feel of how it will be, and to be participate in the championship and see, because later in the later years, maybe it will be helpful for me, that awareness. That's why I joined the championship, and the rest is the history. I'll go through those details too in the later topic. And yeah, that's my background. That's how I started. That's where I am at this point right now. Okay, coming to the trading, so I consider myself as a intraday swing trader, and it's not a day trading, but I don't take much of, and like I don't do scalping and those kind of active trading. It's like a mix of like swing trading, like Minervini style in intraday. So I'm not compromising on the magnitude of the moves. Actually, there will be like better magnitude in less duration moves. That's what my focus is on. I'll completely focus on the momentum moves. And then when the action is going sideways or at the downtrend, I don't consider, I don't look at those charts. So I'll just focus on where the action is, upwards action. And I only do long side trading. I don't short. And this is, I got from Mark as well. He doesn't short much. At the same time, I wanted to try myself shorting. What I felt, I got Cobra trading account for shorting and tried shorting as well. And maybe it's my personality that maybe I couldn't switch between long and short those styles. And whenever there is a setup in short, I would try to go and find the locates. I can't find the locates, and they charge for the commission fee for the locates. So there is a bunch of things that I didn't like in shorting. And by the time I prepare everything and go short, the move has already happened. Maybe it broke down and the move already started. And especially in small caps, the shorting is a little risky, more riskier than medium caps and large caps, because the upwards move can be very dangerous and it can short squeeze the short sellers, and the upwards move can be explosive and exponential. There is no limit on the upside and downside. So that's why most probably I don't short much. And anyways, I want to specialize in one area rather than trying everything. So that's my take on it. But yeah. And yeah, I developed 5 to 6 chart setups technically by going them over and over again. I have these go-to setups that I try to take those setups, and I depend on heavily on these setups. Whenever there is action and aligning with these setups, then I take the entry. I put a stop loss. It will be a simple trading style. I'll show in the coming slides. And then, yeah, I'm a 100% technical trader. Since it's intraday trading and all, there will be some catalyst or a news that makes a stock move. For example, especially in small caps, there is like vaccine approvals or FD approvals, like some merger with other companies and whatnot. But yeah, even there are some news X, I don't look at the news much, and because I tend to get biased with the positive news and assume that there will be upside move, but most of the cases, right, it won't make that kind of a move and it will go the opposite direction, kind of that. And so anyways, my thing is I can't interpret the news much to the chart action. So I just waited the chart price action and then take it from there. So I want to make it my style very simple as it can. So that's I work very hard to make my trading style very simple. So that's the fundamental behind it. So yeah, I don't follow fundamental analysis or any news. So I just trade the price and volume action. All good, Was and Miles. So I'm continuing.
We're good.
Okay, cool. Moving on. Routine. So there is a daily routine that I follow. Like every morning before trading, before starting the trading, in the pre-market, I'll see what's moving. I'll open my scanner, and in Thinkorswim also there is a pre-market movers out of the box scanner, and there is this Zendo online YouTube scanner that I watch. So I'll see what's moving, and I'll have it in my, if it's making some noise or making some moves in pre-market, I just put them in my watch list. And also there will be some stocks which makes after hours moves from past day. I'll keep them as well. I have everything. I have these 3 monitors, big monitors, and a laptop screen. So I have these priority monitors where I'll have the focus list 1, focus list 2, focus list 3 kind of actions there. I'll just arrange them accordingly. And then if there is action, I'll sit there. But if there is not, if maybe it's very premature and all, if I have time, then I'll go meditate. You do visualization practices, those exercises for some time. And then slowly towards the market open, I'll be ready for the market open, like see what has moved in the pre-market. And then as soon as the market opens, I'll be ready. But I usually I don't take trades for the first 15 minutes after the market opens. I just want to see the direction, the trend it's going to set, a stock is going to set, and then later on I try to trade. Because whenever I tried taking the, as soon as the market opens, I tried trading too. But whenever, most of the times I was ended up in losses, those kind of in those time frames. So that's why I just give it some time for first 15 minutes, leave it, and then I try to enter later on. But yeah, the trading, usual trading day, if there is, for example, as if there is a good market with good number of opportunities, I tend to sit in front of the screens all day and try to watch the action and trade accordingly. If there is less action or no action, or if the most of the stocks are in downtrend, the volume is low, like in summers, for example, I don't look at the charts. Actually, I don't look at the screens. I take off that day, or couple of days. I usually watch less in those kind of days. I give myself a break from those watching the stocks. So in this kind of days. And then at the end of the day, if I will have a journal notes next to me, always like this kind of notes. So whenever there is action, or whenever, as soon as I'm taking a trade or I'm feeling something, I just write down physically on manual, like with pen on paper. I took this trade. I grade the setup. Okay, I feel this is A setup, A plus setup, or B setup. And if it is a B setup, why I'm taking it like that? And then I grade my patience level. Did I wait, or was I patient enough to wait for the setup, or why am I doing an impulse trade? How is my discipline? So I grade accordingly. And then at the end, I write if the trade went into my direction, how I peeled off. I do the trade management. I write it down, and after the trade is closed, I'll have a review, like one-line review, and then. So I take all these things, and at the end of the day, I take screenshots of each of the trades that I took, and I'll put it in my Google Slides, because I'll have every day I have these trades that I have taken, those screenshots, put it there, journal it, and at the weekend I'll video record all these trades that I have taken in the past week. Not all the trades, but the very impactful trades. Like there will be many trades which will end up as losses. My win rate is only 30% win rate. So 70% of them are losses. And even though losses, right, if the market price action is good, if it provides a very meaningful setups and goes clearly, if it provides good opportunities, good windows, then definitely I'll record them. And also I'll record the missed trades that I didn't take. Maybe I didn't feel comfortable at that time, and it went up in my direction, and then it made big moves after that, but I hesitated to take it. So I will video record all of them, and I'll using Thinkorswim. Sorry, in Thinkorswim there is an on-demand feature. I record them using that, and then using my Camtasia video recording software, I fast forward with action. And one second, I fast forward with the action, and I'll watch the like few hours, like 2-3 hours video or action in 10 minutes, less than 10 minutes. That's so that it will be faster. And then I'll read. I try to develop these habits, all this every day, like meditation, journaling, and do regular workouts, so that I will keep myself active, physically and mentally. And then do this back testing, and try to read books like based on the spiritual growth or mental growth, and also on trading. For example, right now I am reading the Mastering the Mental Game of Trading by Stephen Goldstein. Yeah, so I try to, whenever I find time, I try to read those books. Trying to build the habits, and do habits right. As James Clear says, we don't race to our goals; we fall to the level of our habits or systems. I just want to build good habits, and I'm doing this for the past 3 years, I would say, and I anticipate doing in the near future, the coming future as well. Okay, scanner. The screenshot that we see here is I took the watch list scanner that I developed. Anybody can. These are the criteria or conditions that I have. The price of the stock, any price from 50 cents to $100. We can play it. This is what I had in the past few years, but I can play with it back and forth. And then volume should be minimum 1 million. volume and then percentage change from the previous day, at least minimum 25% change. And then if there is, if this falls into the criteria, then it comes to my this small caps volatility scan watch list. Yep. And then I can see like which one is a big mover and all. I can trade accordingly. And then I also follow this YouTube online YouTube channel called Zendo, which they have this simple momentum scanner. I keep this open in one of my windows in small screen in the laptop screen. And then now and then I'll watch what's moving, what has been refreshed, what's at the top. And I go and see the chart action of that. And if it's good, and then I'll put it in my focus list and watch in the wonders. So yeah, it's a simple scanner, not much, but I'm trying to develop a custom scanner as well going forward for the momentum access platform that I'm working on. But yeah, for now, these are the scans that I use. And coming to the technical setups, the chart patterns, I have these chart patterns. The one is bull flag, EMA kiss and fly, horizontal fade, intraday VCP. VCP is the volatility contraction pattern. This is what Mark Minervini terminology. He uses this VCP. But here I use that for the intraday action. It's like mini VCP. And then the last setup I have is reversal squeeze. So this, especially the reversal squeeze, happens only in the low float stocks. The lower the float, the better. I'll go through explain these examples in the moment. But yeah, I mean, and also just wanted to take this opportunity to tell if I keep developing the playbooks, and if there are many other windows or opportunities where a big move happens before that, there is some pattern happening. So I'll just take a screenshot of that and try to create a playbook, and over the period of time it develops into a setup. So right now I have 2-3 other playbooks that I'm creating too, but at the moment these 5 are concrete or well developed setups, I would say. Okay, for example, bull flag. This is already many traders know this setup, and there's nothing new here. This is as shown in the screenshots, image here, and then the description here. So number one is there is a gradual increase in price. I think you can see my cursor, right? Yeah, there's a gradual increase in price. Same thing along with gradual increase in volume, and then there is almost sideways or very shallow pullback. Number two, with less volume compared to the left side or this volume, when the move is making upwards, the shallow pullback, and that would be my entry, taking the highs of that previous green bar, and then the low of that bar would be my stop loss. So I enter here, I'll try to manage the trade accordingly. I'll peel off into the strength, as I 1/3 or half, something like that, and I'll trail the remaining position accordingly into the strength if it goes in my direction. If not, then I'll be exiting at the stop loss. So it's a simple pattern, easy to identify, but it's a very fast pattern. This is a 5-minute chart, by the way. So it's each bar is 5 minutes. So this, for example, this VCIG on this day, it made a pre-market action with good volume, at least, not considerable, but in pre-market, this volume is good enough. And then it made a very constructive shallow pullback towards when the market closed. And then as soon as the market opened, this is a very low float stock. That's why it have this squeeze tendencies. That's why when I say I don't short, if I am a short seller, if I short here, if I don't cover, will be a very big loss for me. So that's why like this one criteria that I want to take this as an example and tell you like why I don't short much in these small caps and low floats. But anyways, so even after this, it showed the volume is very constructive. I try to squeeze up. It couldn't fall down, try to squeeze up and went almost, the pullback was very organic towards the highs and very organic. And then it's tried to squeeze up. So yeah, I will have enough clues before. So I just watch until here. And even here, when it's doing this action, I just wait and see. And then if it forms a setup, I enter. Otherwise, I'll just leave it. Let it go. That's would be my ideal state state of trading. Yeah, so I'll connect these clues and just try to enter. But out of all my setups, this one is the fast one because it doesn't give much time. The pullback is 1 minute, 1 bar, usually from 2 to 3 bars. So this went off again in second bar, after second bar, but there can be another one more bar. So it's 10 minutes 5 minute, right? It happens within 10 minutes and then takes off. So this is the fastest of all my setups. And if there are any questions,
we've got a couple of questions.
Sure.
One thing I've got is, what's your exit point on this?
Oh, if it doesn't go in my direction, I am exiting right below this bar. There is a
Right.
stop.
When it goes, obviously it went in your direction.
Yeah, if it goes in my direction, I am gonna trail it. I'll usually in the beginning of my career, as soon as it goes in my direction, I used to take half off and then right in the next bar. But now I want to be very patient when it goes in my direction, and if it is this strong volume picking up, I would like to see at least 15 minutes. Give it 15 minutes, like 3 bars. Try to see what it does. If it is this strong, then maybe I'll try to peel off like 1/3 off or half off around here. And the trail, the remaining half or the 1/3 or 2/3 along the position, along the 9 EMA. This is the 9 EMA, this is the 21 EMA. So I'll do a mix and match. If it is this strong, I'll usually wait and then take half off and then the remaining half accordingly. Or I'll peel 1/3 here, maybe 1/3 here, and then 1/3 here, something like that. Or if I feel I'm good enough on that day, maybe my account is in drawdowns. If I want to get back to a positive account value and all, if this move is good, if here it hit my target, then I can completely come out here. So it depends on where my account equity curve is, account value, and all those things. So if it doesn't go in my direction, it's easy. I just come out of, I cut my stop, my trade here, but it goes in my direction, then it gets a little complicated, and selling I feel is the very hardest thing in trading. I can't predict the exact top or anything. So I just try to peel off accordingly or scale out. I hope I answered your question, Miles.
Yeah. We got a couple more in the chat. Can you talk about position sizing?
Sure. Position sizing is what like I learned from Mark as well. So it goes with progressive exposure. But let's say if I'm doing good and all, I increase the size. I try to risk more and go with bigger size. But if I am in drawdowns, and I try to keep on reducing the size and go with less size. And also depends on the setup. If it is this perfect setup, I try to increase the size, because it's a very clean, neat A+ setup. And in those kind of situations, I'll try to like double the size or like that. So depending on the situation, because most of the times I don't even wait for the stop loss to hit. As soon as it doesn't go in my direction, I'll cut it right away. So that's why like I develop these kind of nuances or things that fits my personality, my character. And so based on those intuition feelings, I also trade accordingly. But usually, I do the progressive exposure principles. If I'm doing good, if I am in positives, my account equity curve is very good and all, I try to slowly increase the size. If I am doing bad, I try to cut back the size. Yeah, basically that's the answer, Miles.
We got a bunch more questions.
Position sizing, I would say the general questions, we can keep it towards the end. If it is any question related to the setups or bull flag, we can answer now, but at least otherwise we...
Hi, this is Omer. I have a specific question for this setup. Can I ask, please?
Sure.
So what I have noticed on these 5-minute charts with these low floats that make the big moves, when you see it's breaking out from that range or with that 5-minute candle, if you go big with your size or maximum position or even half position, within that 5-minute bar or candle, as soon as you buy, the stocks immediately sometimes like drops 20, 30 cents back, or goes at least half of the candle down, or in the next candle, it goes half or maybe like 70% back, to where it can mess up with your mind. How do you deal with that situation? Or what's the advice to deal with that?
Yeah, definitely in the initial days of day trading, those kind of experiences that scares me, that scares everyone too. But once we get experience of this style with the low floats, especially, the moves will be very drastic. It will be volatile. upwards or downwards. It will be volatile. And yeah, basically, if it is that much volatile, I'll try to reduce the risk. I don't want to be in that kind of a volatility anymore. But with this kind, what I see over the period of time, over the period of 2 years on experience and all. So when there is since I'm a long trader, if my entry, the pattern is perfect and I enter perfectly, then as soon as I enter, it goes in my direction. And there will be there will be times where it hesitates there will be a sudden sell off, drops quick, but again picks up. So yeah, there will be some instances like that too. But yeah, I will try to reduce the size. And in those cases, what I'm trying to say, like, usually we'll pick those habits or experiences, we'll see, and eventually we'll get used to it. So that's what I feel. Initially, it will be very scary. But so, for example, I'll show that trades. I'll jump ahead and show a trade that I took. This is on February 8th in 2024, a couple of weeks ago. So this is HOLO. This ran 1000% on this day. So so there will be some trades like this, and it's clean, and it doesn't do those kind of like scary moves. When it goes up, it goes quickly on the upside. So even though it halted up and down on the left side, but so I don't trade in those areas. And then when it's clean, when it's calmer, and then I enter. So like that. And even here, it halted up to the left side, but as you said, like there will be slippage too, and those kind of things happens. But usually, slowly we'll get used to that.
Thank you.
Sure.
I think we're going to have a bunch of questions. So why don't we continue on and pause when you have a chance to cover a bunch.
Yeah, sure. The next setup I have, this is called EMA kiss and fly. This is like an extension of bull flag, where bull flag takes off instantly after 2 or 3 pullback bars. But EMA kiss and fly, the left side won't be that strong usually. It will have only 2 bars, green bars, or 1 green bar like this. And then it tries to make a bull flag, but since the left side is not that strong, or since it needs some time, what it does is it tries to go up, but it waits more. And then it honors whenever it tries to pull back, it honors the 9 EMA properly. And then within the pullback area in this region, like number 3, the volume will be considerably low compared to these green bars, right? And then it touches whenever it comes pulling back to the EMA, it honors that. And then this would be my entry, and this would be my exit. Always most of my exits are below the low of the previous bar, always. And it's like a tight risk reward entries always. And then I would trade accordingly. But these are the characteristics of the EMA kiss and fly. And what is that? Yeah. So 1 second. Yeah, and then I'll go to my next setup. Basically, these are all tight entries with great risk reward opportunities. So then this is like a longer extension of the both setups, bull flag and EMA kiss and fly. So basically, the left side will be strong, but it will takes the sideways with low volume pullback towards the high of the price action, and it's a shallow, very neat, clean pullback. And then when the 9 EMA and 21 EMA merges around that area, then slowly the momentum starts, and then it goes from there. And this provides a very great risk reward entry, because the risk would be very, very tiny here below of the previous bar, but the reward would be this much. But anyways, yeah, if I flip this chart to 15 minute, it will look even better. It might look like this bar, or this setup or this setup, depending on how long the pullback takes. But yeah, and so this is one of the setups too. And then this is the intraday VCP, is the volatility contraction pattern. And to the left side, there is a good demand strength. And then it forms it honors the 21 EMA when it pulls back with less volume, with less green bar volumes compared to green bars. And then in each cycle, it is going to honor the 21 EMA, and then the volatility contracts in each cycle. And then after that, at the end, so the entry would be around here, the top of this cycle, and the exit would be, or stop loss would be, the low of this cycle. And it should have this uptrend look. And then entry, exit, and then I will trade accordingly. This is a typical Mark Minervini setup, but this is an intraday VCP. So I am seeing this also in bunch of charts that I trade. Yeah. So basically most of all these setups, they have the same criteria. Good demand, very shallow pullback with low volume, and very constructive action. And if it takes this previous highs, enter. That, and stop loss would be the low of the base. So that's all there is to it. And then this is the reversal squeeze. This is the a variety setup here. This happens only mostly in low float stocks, which the lower the float, the better. And this is like a tennis ball action, as everyone says. Like whenever there is a drop, it tries to squeeze up, or whenever it hits the ground, it tries to bounce back hard, because this is the low float stock. And when the volume picks up, it squeezes very explosive. It makes explosive moves. So I have a playbook of these setups too. And these arrows are the indication that whenever it tries to sell off, it takes the previous highs. So those kind of things. And then at the morning open, it tried to sell off completely. And now it bumps up and waits, and then it makes explosive move. So I have playbook setups of these characteristics too. And yeah, this happens a lot in intraday as well. Okay, before going to 2024 trades, any questions? Or then if not, I can continue and we can take the questions at the end. Okay, 2024 trades, as I said, took this a couple of weeks ago. This is the EMA kiss and fly, the setup, that second setup that I was talking about. So in the pre-market, this had some news, and this is a very low float stock. It had the strength. It was slowly grinding up towards at the top of the price action, and towards around 7:30 a.m. my time, Central Time. It picked up the volume, and then towards the market open, it picked up the volume again. And then as soon as the market opened, it tries to take this pre-market highs, but couldn't. There's selling. This is the tennis ball action I'm talking about. And then it drops big, and then later it squeezes up. So short sellers they have to cover here. They can't even cover because it halted up. And then I have to wait to cover it up if I'm a short seller. But anyways, so this is the tennis ball action, strength, and then halts down, but squeeze up again, tennis ball action here. Then from here, I'm interested from here. The pullback is very gradual. All this action is happening at the top of this bar, and with gradual decrease in the volume in the pullback. So this is what it has, that look of, if I let it go, then I want to move higher, right? I want to explode. This pullback has that look, right? Because here it took this previous highs bar, and it couldn't, and then came back, pulled back. But these next two bars are very interesting. It showed the strength again. It badly wants to take this highs, but couldn't because of the selling left. And then it went sideways like that. It's going sideways. And then as soon as the selling pressure or released selling pressure is reduced and the demand kicks in, it makes explosive moves. So I sold too early here. This is how you are saying, right? How will I exit? Usually I exit here, I exited here. But yeah, this went down. I sold too early. This made a big move afterwards towards the market close and afterwards, and it went to, right now it says 5.5, right? It went to $50 afterwards. Yeah. But anyways, this is a clean, simple trade that I took. And this is NEXI, NEXI. It made a good move the previous day as well. And then this day, it started squeezing up again. I was just watching this action because I didn't find any setup here. When it did this move, this magnitude move, and then when going sideways, and honoring the EMA, it's in the sideways action, the volume is silent, or it's gradually low compared to this. And then I entered here, half size, and it goes in my direction. I thought, okay, maybe I'll add half here, saying that I will increase the size, and with my and also one thing, once the price goes in my direction, I move my stop loss from here to break-even point. Even I learned this from Mark. So basically, when he's aggressive and all, when he goes plays with margin, he usually sells some into partial, finance stop, or move the stop loss to the break-even point, something like that. So usually I'll move my break even on my stop loss to my break even point when it goes in my direction. And then I added half year, making double the size and zero risks, or because it went in my direction. The first half is already in profits. So I double the size, move the stop loss to break even for both sizes. And then even second one went into my direction. I peeled off some into strength. And then after it did this, I peeled off slowly. So this is what I did. So yeah, it's a good setup. And then this is BMR. This also squeezed up 1000% on this day on 2/9, February 9th. So on pre-mar, it had some news, and it was after same thing around 7:30 area, the volume picked up. And then after the market open, it acted good and squeezed up so much. I was watching here. I couldn't enter here because it halted up very fast instantly. And then it made this big move. And then it was acting constructively. I couldn't enter here because I was scared of this volatility. And after that, it provided another entry, another base. This is a bull flag, left side, gradual increase in volume with price, and then the shallow pullback with less volume. And then I entered here, peeled off into in this bar, like here and here. And then after it, but yeah, I exited because I am already in like this one base, this second base, third base. This is like a climax run. So I was doing the base counting and I said, okay, anyways, this can stop or reverse anytime soon. So that's why I was peeling off early. But yeah, that reversal happened here after this bar. But yeah, I was doing the base counting and exited right here. This is another trade on 2/6 NVIV. This is not any particular setup or anything like that, but I like the action. It's like a reversal squeeze kind of candidate. I like the action where it tried to go up, but it couldn't. It waited. It tried here, but it couldn't. But the pullback was very natural and slow and organic. And then when it was under the 21 EMS, I was not liking this action much because the price is under 21 EMS and it's not claiming back. But the volume is very quiet in this area. It's all gradually quiet became. And then once the demand picked up, I thought, okay, maybe I have a good when it tries to. I didn't expect that it will go to this fast, but I thought, okay, maybe I'll enter half size here with tight stop around low of this base. And then if it provides another opportunity somewhere here around the top, I'll add another half. And I know that there is this $1 psychological level. Maybe that's what it's trying to do in the morning, but it couldn't. Now, maybe if it starts moving, it will later in the part of the day, it will maybe touch the $1 around here in this day. But yeah, the move, as soon as I entered after that, it didn't wait. It didn't look back and it halted up and it touched the $1 level within like next 1 hour. So yeah, it's like a 70% move, but yeah, this is another good trade. And yeah, apart from this, there are many these are only good trades that I'm showing, but there are many losing trades, many break-even trades that I do. I enter, exit if it doesn't go in my direction right away, I exit a lot. So I do those kind of trades too. But yeah, slowly from the past year experience, I'm trying to trade less, focus more on the patience and only perfect trading, trying to trade perfect setups, those kind of things. And yeah, we'll talk about my 2023 journey.
Why don't we go back over a few questions then? From your scans, how many stocks are normally up on a good day? Do you use situational awareness of market conditions to decide on a trade?
Yes. So I do the situational awareness. I took that concept from Pradeep Bonde, from Stockbee Pradeep. Even Mark also, all the good traders explains this. So in the small caps world or in this day trading, also there is a situational awareness. There is this market cycles. It has its own cycle, and in a good day there will be couple of 100+ runners already. And as soon as the market opens, I see 3-4. There is a 400% runner, 300% runner, because they ran after hours of the previous day or pre-market, and then they're opening at that level. So in a good day, I see 4-5 of them, and then there will be bunch of another 90+ or 80+ runners, and like there we have very good numbers. On a very bad day, or like when there is nothing, the maximum the runners would be like 30%, 40%, and then I'd see three, four of them, and then others like 10%, 20%. That means that is telling me that the market is not that strong, not for my strategy for this momentum. It's quiet and might go sideways. So yeah, that's the situational awareness I do. And for example, if you see these trades, they all happen around the same time. This is around January 30, and this is February 8th, and this is February 9th. So they happen inside bunches actually. And on this week, and even this one was on February 6th. So this week was around February 1st week and January last week. Though that week we have seen very good movers. And then in those movers, if I can just grab this 40% move, 50% move, kind of those, and I sit quietly after that, then I'll be doing great over the period of time, the period of 1 year. And after this week, after this February 1st week, and it became quiet in the second and third week. And second week it was okay. At least there was a few more couple of runners. But third week and fourth week, especially the last 2 weeks, were quiet. So I'm honoring that situational awareness and trying to trade very less nowadays. And trying to that's how my watch lists or my situational awareness would be.
Yeah. Are you using 4-to-1 intraday leverage?
No, I don't use the leverage for small caps. So there won't be a leverage.
Got it.
So if I trade medium caps, sometimes I trade medium caps. For example, there is NVIDIA earnings, right? And that if I see a setup AMD, if earnings and if intraday provides some good setup and opportunity, I'll go with margin, if at all, if the risk reward is good. But in small caps, I don't use leverage.
Do you look at level 2 order book?
No, I don't look at the level 2.
And one person was asking, what's your max loss for a day?
Oh yeah, that's one thing I want to actually set up with a broker as well, max loss per day. But Charles Schwab, I use the Charles Schwab broker. They don't have that kind of a feature. But I don't try to trade accordingly. I would like to limit the loss. As I said, like progressive exposure. If I, for example, let's say $2,000 is, I'm just telling a number, is the loss that I took in one trade. Next trade, I would cut down the size to $1,000, right? Because since for the first one is a loss, I will reduce the size of the next trade. For example, let's say even $1,000 that ended up as a loss. So now my total loss for today is $3,000. And now if I have this, I have to trade less for sure. And then even if there is a perfect setup or good setup and I have to trade, maybe I have to risk only $1,000 more or $500. I have to reduce the risk. So this is all progressive exposure. And same thing, if I'm doing good, right? If my risk is $2,000 in the first trade and it ended up as a winner, I make so 2 times 2, for example, 1:2. Let's take that risk reward ratio, and I make $4,000. Now in the next trade, I'll try to go either with $2,000 or I try to increase the size also, maybe risk $3,000 or $4,000. And let's say even that is ended up as a winner, then I'm going to increase the size. So this is like slowly scaling up, like scaling back in the sizing. And then maximum, I don't put any maximum limits on the loss levels, but I'll be aware of my risk and losses very much more than the profits. I'll be focusing more on losses only. And I try to cut down as much as I can, but sometimes it goes out of hands few days, but I'll try to reduce the risk and whenever there are continuous losses.
Okay. Just a couple more questions, then we'll move on. Do you take off more if volume is decreasing as the price goes in your favor?
Sorry, Miles, can you please repeat that? Take off?
Do you take off more? Do you take profits if volume is decreasing as the price goes in your favor?
When the price goes in my favor, volume is decreasing. I don't look at the volume much. Earlier, maybe I'll take a partial.
Yep.
If take some partial off, and as soon as the price goes in my favor, when I'm in a situation that I'm taking a partial off, then my remaining is almost at the buy point, my remaining size, because even if it reverses and it comes back to my price point, I should end up as at least a small profit. That's my goal. Like as Mark says, keep chipping up. That's what I said. And I just wanted to chip up my account. So even if it's a small profit, I'm fine with that. And yeah, maybe in that case, as the volume is decreasing and all, I didn't see that behavior much. I won't see, because gradually the volume will be increasing most of the cases, but there might be, I don't know. But when the volume is decreasing, I would definitely take some partial off and trail the remaining, or keep the remaining at the buy point.
Last one for now. How many trades do you normally take in a day, or the range of trades?
Yeah, actually, last Thursday and Friday, 0 trades. And so far this week, I think 3 trades or 4 trades, something like that. So because the market is not that great, I try to trade less. But if the market is good, maybe on an average 3 to 4 trades per day. So yeah.
Good. All right. We'll come back to these. Thanks.
Yeah, sure. Okay, coming to this last year journey. This is my monthly returns. I shared this in the Traderline interview as well. So as I said, I was not even a profitable trader when I started this 2023 year. I just entered the championship just to get a feel of it, not to win or anything like that. That's what happened in January. And this is my usual January, February, like March. This is my usual trading experience in the past, like 2022 and 2021. So yeah, I was not profitable. Whatever I make, I give it back slowly, and those kind of things. Coming to April, this was the game-changing month for me, and I made plus 65% towards the end of the April because of one trade, which is TOP. I'll show that example screenshot later. That changed my thinking. My confidence grew a lot, and then that end of the month, I thought, okay, so by end of April, my account was like 200%. So this is per month returns, but by end of April, my account, what I started was, from there it was close to 200%, and then I submitted my statement, broker statement, to USIC, because I want to see my name in the list, right? At least once, maybe. Why not take this opportunity and see my name out there? Like this April month provided me with that chance. And after that, the actual struggle started. After that, May and June were horrible. May was better. Yeah, May looks like, yeah, it's better, but I wanted to double this up. I wanted to continue this run, but not able to. And then slowly it was giving me back. And then, June was the horrible month. I gave 40% back, which is too bad, too worst. That's the horrible. It's like a nightmare. But I didn't do it in one trade or couple of trades. It was a very gradual, slow, bleeding to death kind of a scenario. I was not doing the progressive exposure. I was risking more to get back to even. I was revenge trading. I was force trading. I did all kinds of mistakes that I was doing in the past. Everything came back. And this performance actually had that ruined me, actually. And then that's what I tend to do in June, but slowly. And then eventually, like from July, I started picking it up. In June, actually, I was back to break even. So whatever I did until here, it was like my account was back to break even. I was not reporting to USIC because I was feeling shameful. Then starting July, I slowly picked it up, and this month, I slowly started doing good. I was aware of this mistake and don't want to force trades and slow. I traded very less here. I'll show the stats as well. I traded very less number of trades. I waited for the perfect setups, and whenever there was setup, I went big on this and those setups. So that's the result of this. Yeah, slowly, and I was very cautious not to give anything back after these performances. So yeah, this is the end performance. But yeah, I wanted to continue slowly. I want to be consistent. Let's see what happens. And yeah, last year, biggest winners. This is ICCT. I showed these slides in the Traderline interview as well, but the same slides, because I didn't have time, or I can show in the pink of stream later if we have time today. But yeah, same thing. Low float stock made MA. There was some news on the previous day, and then this day it's like EMA kiss and fly. It has some strength in the beginning. What I'm trying to say is, I will have time or enough clues to enter or not to take a call, or do not enter. because all these clues, right? These clues, this is in the watch list all this day, all this time. It made this move. I don't need to jump and hope that it will do this, right? I just wait for my setup and it will form. I have 1 hour watching this, and while it's forming the setup, I have the time and everything. When it's the setup is so good, then I went in with size, with the stop loss, tight stop loss. And then as soon as it goes in my direction, I peeled off something so that if it comes back and reverses on me, at least I'm safe, right? Something like that. And by the time it made this move, my stop loss I would move my stop loss from here to my buy point already, and then peel off something, and then peel off slowly. And then even most of the times I sell early because this make a big move later, but I'm okay with what I did there.
I understand you're blocking the amounts, but relatively speaking, were you getting out a third and a third and a third, or was it?
Here in this case, 1/3, 1/3, 1/3.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, and I do mix and match. Like sometimes for example, here it was like once at the short, like actually twice, I think, half and half at the top. And here it was like half and half too, I think. So yeah, I'll do mix and match. Sometimes I do 1/3, 1/3 like that, and then depending on the move, and there's no like fixed thing that I do. And then this is the continuation run from this day to next day. It ran $42. So after hours, I make no. This is how, for example, I anticipated this move that it will do this afterwards move here. I entered here. It didn't go on the queue. It was hesitating and all. I cut it out again, and then I enter again. It was not there quite yet, and then I cut it off. And then when it started the move, I can enter, and then I peeled off into strength, and then it made this move. I entered again. I have this some size here, and then I entered some partial here, and then I peeled it off into strength. This is another big move or big trade for me last year. So this was the perfect bull flag setup. 3 gradual increase in prices with gradual increase in volume. This pullback was very shallow with low volume, went sideways, and then I exactly entered here at the top of this price bar. Low was my stop loss. As soon as I entered, actually with all in, I went all in this trade. And I got some bad remarks from comments from Trader Lane interview and all, saying that who goes all in or like that. But when I saw this many times, when I'm very confident that it will go in my direction and all, I don't think going all in is a bad thing. And actually, if I don't go all in, not all in, it's not like gambling or anything. I'm at that moment, my account value is such that I can, even if it reverses on me, if it's a loss, it's okay to me because I have like very much profit cushion with the past trades at this time. So that's why I slammed in that, and then as soon as it went in my direction, I closed the door. My buy point is my stop loss. And then I peeled off so early that there's already like the one that I peeled off is 90% move with my sole account. And then I missed this move, but anyways, it is what it is. But yeah, and I took this from Lance Bradstein, SAP Capital coach, to when there is a easy setup, when there is a plus setup, not going all in is also some mistake. So. But anyways, after this, I don't do this quite often too. I do it only in certain occasions. And after this, and maybe there's one more trade, but I haven't done so far, even now in these years. So only after building some cushion, and if I'm doing good and all, I'll try to go with size. Yeah, this is also a big size trade. It was completely halted up. This will be a very new, this completely, all day it was halting up, squeezing the shorts, halts up, and then comes back, lands on here, and the 21 EMA goes sideways. This is like a EMA or like an intraday VCP kind of a look. And then I entered exactly here. And when it goes in my direction, I again added here. And then I peeled at the top. This is like one. I came out at once. I sold all the position at once here. Yeah, another example of what you say, the flat top, or I call this as like a EMA kiss and fly, but strength to the left. It has the look of going highs, trying to claim the previous highs, and then once the volume is also very getting fight in the pullback, and then takes this $5 level. I enter here. I peeled off very early, but it made this move. Yeah, same thing. Short squeeze setup. I anticipated the afterwards move. So most of the stocks, they'll make a big move afterwards. So those kind of entries. Yeah, another clean setup, very nice uptrend, very good pullback, and then I entered here, similar levels. Another setup, same thing. So most of my setups are like that. I need to have a strong left side, good left side, like uptrend, and a very sideways pullback with low volume. That's my bread and butter look. And then if I anticipated the move here, it didn't go. But anyways, my stop loss was towards the base. It did hit my stop loss. And then I thought it would go here. No, I didn't. But later, luckily, it didn't hit my stop loss here. Then later it went in the direction that I wanted. And then I peeled off and I added here and then peeled off the sizes here. So sometimes I try to add the size as well instead of peeling off everything. Okay, and yeah, so as I said, like there will be a couple of opportunities. This is a very good entry. I didn't take it. I was a little skeptical that it will make this move. Once it make this move, and I like this base, so I was base counting again here. First base, second base, third base. This is the climax move. Fourth base. I came out here, peeled off everything. Now later it made this move, which is fine. But yeah, I was doing that. Even if I miss it here, I'll have another 1 hour to. If it forms a base, if it's really that strong, I'll get another opportunity. If not, then I'll get another opportunity. So if I wait properly. So this is the SPGC. This is on IPO day. So it halted up completely after I entered, and it's another, I think, 50% move. That's something like that I made. These are all good trades. As I said, like only handful of them. There is so much of losing trades that I take, which are crap. And these are only good looking charts. And I shared this when I was talking to Mark Minervini, and he interviewed me as well after the championship. So I showed these examples to Mark, and he said, if you didn't tell me this is a 5-minute chart in daily, if it is a daily chart, this is how exactly I would enter and exit. So yeah, I felt very proud, very happy after listening to him. But yeah, this same magnitude, better, like 30% move, 40% moves with clean moves, with good looking price action, I follow the same methodologies as swing trading one. Same magnitude moves with less duration. Within 30 minutes, within 1 hour or next couple of hours, I get the better percentage. So another trade example. And this is the TOP trade that I was talking about, the game changer. Until this was on April 27th, until here, I didn't know that there can be moves like 1000% in a couple of hours. So I was adding, peeling off, and then adding. I was not believing what I was seeing, and adding, peeling off, and then adding, exited everything here, I think. And then when it's still going, I added again, peeled off again, peeled off. I was like, it's like 100% move for me, my portfolio. So this is the first time I did this. And after that, it became very common or routine, like doing this kind of moves after that. Once you get used to that, I think. But until before this, I was not used to do this kind of moves. And once I did this move, and then it was like, for example, there was 6-figure trades that I did. And then until then, I never did 6-figure trades. Then the next 6-figure profit trade was in 2 weeks after the first trade. So yeah, once you get used to it, maybe like it expands the capacity or something like that. So yeah, this is another entry, peeled off, and then still I think I exited everything here. I thought, okay, I didn't like this reversal and all. I thought maybe it will slam down on me. And it was squeezing up slowly, gradually. And then I again entered here, peeled off something, again he entered here, peeled off something. Again, I sold too early. It went this far. And now the actual part, this is the interesting part. Sure, I'm going to continue my mistakes. Most of my time I'll spend here. Whatever I have shown until now, this is only a 20% of me. When everything is good, when everything is rosy and all, this is the part. But 80% of my time or my emotional state, everything, either it's going sideways or like the downtrend. So I try to get past this kind of moves. This is a tennis ball action. Whenever it slams down, bounces back, taking this previous size. I thought it will do that. No, which it did this, right? And I didn't enter any here, even though it's a profit. So by looking at these missed opportunities, I take the screenshot of this, create that playbook, and now it's a reversal squeeze setup. This is the entry. But at this, when this is happening, I didn't have this set up properly. So I got biased saying that after hours, it will make the same move as like this. I enter here. As soon as I enter, it reverses on me, take the loss, which is fine. This first loss was okay. But now again, I actually double the size or increase the size compared to this one, because I was not accepting this loss, and because it was going in my direction after it stopped me. I wanted to be right. My ego is not allowing me to be wrong. So and then I enter again, take a loss again. But yeah, forgot to tell you, I am very good at cutting losses, taking the loss. I'll take the loss, but later on I'll accept the loss or not is a different thing. But I am very fearful of losing money or losing this, right? So I just cut the loss right away. So that I think that alone saved me so far. I take the loss right there, right? Then I don't hesitate to take the loss. But after the loss, what I do is a different thing. Most of the times I don't accept the loss and I try to revenge trade until 2022 and first half of 2023 too. I slowly got better in later part of 2023. Now also I still struggle, but slowly getting better. Another forced revenge trade. I took the first trade, got stopped out, and again take the another trade, get stopped out. I shouldn't have, once this didn't go in my direction, I shouldn't have tried again. But that fear of FOMO, it's all about fear, managing fear.
So can I ask something?
Yeah, sure.
I put a question in the chat as well, but can you explain why here up there it says this is a dangerous setup? Can you talk in general a bit more about when does a setup not work out even though it looks perfect? Or is it really that you didn't recognize certain things in the setup and made bad trades?
Yeah, the second one, I didn't really recognize the setup action properly. I didn't fully understand the action and I got biased and entered. So for example, here, it is giving me a clue that there is the volume, there is a big selling here. And all this action is happening within this selling, and I should wait for this to take off to claim these highs and then provide another cycle or another setup or another base and then tight base and then takes off. That would be a better entry looking back. And also this left side, right? It's not that strong. This made this climax run here itself. This climax is done and it made this reversal, and then this was the strongest climax bar, and that's it. And this, even though this is a green bar, there is more selling in here because the volume is very considerably good and the close is very bad and the range of the price is not that as good as this one. The range is short. There is selling in here and there is selling here and then there is selling here. So considering all these factors, I should have waited more on the right side, which I didn't. So by looking back in hindsight, I clearly see, but in that heat of the moment and all, because this ran good in the previous days and I was getting biased with that and all. Yeah. So mostly I don't look at the clues very clear whenever I take a loss. I hope I answered your question, sir.
Yeah, but I feel like if you looked at this one on a 15-minute chart, it would look like a good bull flag sort of setup, maybe.
I think, yeah, but my entry would be at the top always, right? And then it wouldn't have hit the either for sure it would have looked, there would be some clues and then I would be missed, or it wouldn't have hit my buy stop. And then there will be scenarios too where it's a perfect entry and then get stopped out, which is a common scenario as well. But it's all probabilities, and yeah, that's what makes it challenging.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. So here the left side was not strong enough. I was very biased with this pre-market action, think that, okay, it will make this kind of moves. But after the market open, I was also like, yeah, biased with this kind of the increase in volume, the price is increasing. I thought, okay, it will give this pullback. I will add here and add some size here. It will make a move here. I'll add more here. It can does the VCP, but no, it doesn't. It slams down on me. Because of this tight entry, I had some cushion. This was in the last month of December of the championship, and I had some very much good cushion. I went in with size. This happened, and I didn't want to give back. But anyways, after this loss, I traded very slowly, less, but I ended up in a green month. Yeah, typical me in the beginning of my 2023. This is on February 6th. It squeezed it up so much. I was just watching this. Didn't feel like I was very disciplined. I wanted to be a disciplined trader. If I don't like a setup, I don't want to take it. Right? I didn't like it here. I don't know why at the moment I didn't like it here too. I didn't like it here. It went this far. Now I just screw this. I should have entered somewhere here and I made this move. Now thinking all that. And then now I am best with that setup, and then I thought it will make the same move as it did during the market hours, after hours, and then I entered here, it slammed on me. So yeah, very typical me. And this is another mistake that I did. I didn't take the profits, and slowly it came back, and I almost got at the break-even point, but like very marginal, minimal profits. But yeah. It's a full flag setup for me. Yeah, so this is the full year statistics. Okay, I have it twice maybe. Yeah. Okay, so I will cover this slide in the stats section. But yeah, this is typical me, losses, continuous losses in June, everything. So yeah, I should have traded less and be more patient, waiting for the good setups and all. But my mindset was not clear here this time. And this is the whole year. This is Trader Sync platform stats. From that, I import my statements or my broker statements into this platform, and this will give the stats. This is from January 2nd to December 27th, the full year. I didn't trade after that. This is my average percentage on losers, average percentage on gainers. This is the total number of trades I took, 745. So out of like how many? 500 trading days, 52 weeks. Yeah. It's 250 days, I think. Yeah. 250 days of trading days, 745 total closing trades. My win percent is 31%, loss is 68%. But this is for the total year, and this is for the later part of the year where I was profitable. It's like same thing, 30% and 70% is win-loss ratio. But this is interesting. I traded very less. I traded only 165 trades, took 165 trades. I traded very less, and I increased this percentage on winners and decreased this one. And my hold period on an average for a winning trade is like 45 minutes to 1 hour, I think somewhere, and then 50 minutes. And then for a losing trade, it's 10 minutes. And thank you. Yeah, I can be reachable on Twitter at this handle, Go_Gajjala. And I have this in order for me to reach to more traders, or maybe more helpful to others. I just want to share my strategy, what I do. I want to document myself or document my journey and all. I opened this platform called Momentum Access, so I can be reachable there too. Please try to check it out when you have time. But yeah, I am up for any questions that you may have.
Yeah, we actually have a backlog of questions. I think the best thing is if you could bring up the chat, and starting at 7:37 p.m., take a look at some of those, please.
7:37 p.m., which is which slide is that? Do you know?
Chat. Bring up the chat.
Oh, the chat. Okay. See. Yeah, I got it. I see.
I can read them off, but it's probably faster for you to.
Yeah. Sure. 7:37 is like 6:37 your time, right?
No,
Yeah.
7:37 our time, East Coast.
Yeah, so East Coast. Okay. So I'm seeing 6:37. Okay. Anyways, I'll come from the top.
Yeah, the experience with
Okay.
Mark Minervini.
Yeah, leverage. Okay, that's fine. And how many trades you usually take? I answered that. Okay, yeah. How was your experience with Mark Minervini's master trader or private access program that you referred earlier? Yeah, experience was very good. I learned a lot. Mark is a great teacher. The platform was good. Yeah, I learned a lot. That's what I mean. And that was my starting periods of trading, of introducing to trading. And I think I got a good start. My learning curve got shorter because I was learning from a mentor like Mark Minervini. I think because otherwise this kind of performance in 2023 and championship that early, I am only 3 years old trader. I don't think it will be possible without that. So I give a big shout out to Mark Minervini and his teachings. And Srikant's question, do you look at the volume with respect to float of a stock and then take a decision? Yes, I look at in both aspects, Srikant. For example, if it's a low float stock and the float is rotating millions of times, each 5-minute bar has 4 million, 5 million, that means that I take that into aspect. Even in the medium float stocks and all, like volume is a must to me. Volume, having a good volume, then only I look at the stocks. Otherwise, I don't look at them because there are other stocks too where they make a slow grinding in the day and with low volume. I am not interested in those kind of actions. So I want the momentum moves. I focus on them. So for that to happen, volume is a must, and I combine that with the float information as well. And because when the float is low, when there is volume, there can be like hard up or like that kind of a magnitude move can happen. So I look in that aspect as well. Jesse, to everyone, how do you control risk after hours when you can't put in market order stop loss? Yeah, that's true. Jesse, pre-market and afterwards, I don't like that too. I usually it's all limit orders and there will be slippage as soon as I enter an order and all. But yeah, that's why I kind of trade with less size after hours and pre-market. And I have to use only limit orders. But when the action is good, when it's making a move, why not to take advantage of it? And that's my take on it. But yeah, it's kind of frustrating too. But I try to trade less and with less size in this pre-market and after hours. CD RAM, how do you handle the shakeouts in the flag or base? Do you re-enter with additional position size or let go of it and wait for it set up properly again? Handling the shakeouts in flag. For example, here, if there is a shakeout, I would, as soon as I enter, I would have my stop loss below the base of this bar. And if it hits me, it takes my stop out and stops me out and reverses, then I won't re-enter again at then because my initial thinking is wrong. If it did stop me out, then I'm wrong. Then I would take some time to reassess it. I think I haven't re-entered though, except these cases, right? There is it. There will be very minimal cases where I re-enter unless I am very confident. So for example, here, right? So I entered here and then I exited out here. And then I entered again, maybe that's here, and then I exited in the same bar. Now after it gave me a clear hand, I enter here. So like this is how I usually handle. But I would wait like a couple of bars more. For example, here, right? I enter, exit in the same bar. I enter and exit in the next 2 bars. And then again I enter. So, but this is usually my shakeout kind of a action. But in the same, if shakes me out here, then I wouldn't enter even if it goes in the next bar. I will need at least like a couple of bars to see whether the action is good or not. Hopefully I answered that. Matt Jolie, do you mark daily support and resistance levels or trade in the direction of a daily chart? Yes, I do zoom out and look at daily chart, even though I'm doing an intraday trade. For example, hopefully you are able to see my pin custom. Yeah. Anyways. So even though today I took this trade pre-market, I entered here. I didn't take any, but anyways, I tried to enter again. I got stopped out here. But anyways, even though this is a 5-minute chart, I'm trading, but I always go and look at the daily and see where this daily is. Based on that, I try to draw the support and resistance. So yeah, I zoom out and see where this action is happening. And please don't draw. Okay. Anyways, yeah, I zoom out and see the daily support and resistance levels too. Yes. And the next question, Farhad, can you show the horizontal fade again? Definitely, Farhad. So whoever is drawing, please stop drawing. Horizontal fade. So those kind of setup, right? Horizontal fade is not something that happens very often. So this is the one. So this is the horizontal fade for Farhad. It looks good on the 15-minute one. The closest one for horizontal fade is, I'll show you a live example. Try to, I think, Janex. This was yesterday. From yesterday, this made this move at the 5-minute. And so here, I would think the volume was too low on this one. But anyways, I'll zoom out. So this is like a strong kind of a sideways. After this strength, it pulled back. But since this is a squeeze candidate, it doing the tennis ball action, what it does is it tries to emerges from this, try to bounce from this drop. And then it does this slow fade kind of action. That in that it should be the action, the price action should be at the top of this one. It's a slow, gradual, and now and then it's try to take the highs without any base, but tries to take these highs. It couldn't. Slowly, and then the volume will be quieting down with here, and then goes sideways. Then whenever there is a margin 9 EMA and 21 EMA, and then takes off. So this is horizontal fade. If I switch to 15-minute chart, so this is how it looks like. It looks like a thing in 15 minutes. So I usually switch between 5 and 15 minutes. That's the time frames that I use. Hopefully I answered your question. And VP to everyone, can you please talk about the stock selection in the morning among all the pre-market gappers? Sure. Thinkorswim has this pre-market movers. This scanner is very good. Like it all by default, it shows I'll sort out by volume, which has the most volume, and show which one has the volume. And like for example, Beyond Meat today has the earnings. So since it has this volume, it will come up in the scanner. And then I have this Zendo scanner. This one, Zendo YouTube. Yeah, this live scanner from Zendo. This is usually I have it on. So these are the scans that I use. And also I look at the percentage gainers. This is also Thinkorswim out of the box scanner by default. And then as soon as the market opens, this doesn't operate or be live active until the market opens. As soon as the market opens, this gets filled. And even I'll just sort out by the percentage change, and I'll see which are the biggest movers. And as you can see, the VANI, the one that I traded in the pre-market, it came at the top, and it's because it has that 270, 300% move. Actually, it moved from $1 to $8, like $7, 600% move here, but it faded out after that. But yeah, this in a good market, we'll see this couple of these, and then there will be a bunch of 100s or 90s like that. And then James, how much volume, relative or non-relative to float, does the ticker need to have in the pre-market to catch your attention? The bigger the volume, the better, James. For example, here, in this today's trade. So here it has 1 million volume, and the price is only $2 of the stock, and it's just one candle, one bar in 5 minutes. And then after that, it was like fading out. I'm not interested at all here. But now the volume is picking up. It's now 2.6 million. I'm looking here, 2.6 million volume, 3 million volume, right? 2.6. Now it's interesting because the volume is sustaining and it's increasing. So the volume is increasing here. Now this is like this bar and this bar combined with, this is a pullback bar, but it took this highs and went sideways with good volume. And this is also a very sideways action. Now it takes this size. I entered here exactly at the top. This would be my stop loss. But anyways, pre-market, like I have to, usually I would buy at the top. I'm saying that I would have the limit order manually. I can't do market orders. So I entered here and it goes in my direction. That's fine. But yeah, I look at these aspects. Volume is a must to me. And this gradual increase in volume catches my attention. So that's what I try to look for. Do you ever hold a trade overnight? I did when I was swing trading, but never in my day trading after I started day trading. But that's something I would like to build upon, but not in these low float stocks and all. These are very dangerous stocks to hold overnight. But if I usually if I want to slowly build a strategy that where I can do a kind of intraday trading plus swing trading, those kind of methodologies, right? Slowly, eventually, when I do that, I would like to hold this kind of place. Maybe if I find a perfect setup here, I scale out something 1/3 here, and maybe I'll have my stop loss at this my buy point. But instead of selling the remaining, I would just continue to hold it and see what it does in the next few days. Maybe something like that I would do in future, but I didn't do so far at the moment. Deepak Chauhan, how many stocks do you watch actively for a day? Do you trade in the last 2 hours of trading session? So I have 3 monitors. One monitor, I use it for this main execution, like this, the main screen. The other 2 monitors I use I have this grid layout. I'll show you 1 second. So here, for example, I have 6. I can watch 6 at a time in one monitor, and I have 2 monitors and then 1 laptop screen. So I have 3 monitors, 3 screens. So I can watch 3, 6, 18 at a time. But usually on a given day at a time, I'll be watching closely 4 or 5 stocks, not more than that. The rest will be like a secondary action, a secondary focus list. Like maybe they'll set up something in next 1 hour or 2 hours, but actively at a time 4 or 5 stocks if the market is good. Otherwise 1 or 2, something like that. And then do you trade in the last 2 hours? Yes, I usually trade. It depends on if there is an afterwards move. For example, today we're watching BETS. This is the shares column. This is it's only 624,000. This is an ultra low float stock, and these low floats, and it has good volume today. This is the volume, 60 million. Given this is the highest so far in this one, but given this volume and all, I was interested. So I didn't trade this one, but because there was no setup. But towards the market close, sometimes these will squeeze up, as you have seen in my past, those screenshots of the trades that I took, and then they squeeze up after hours too. So that's why I'll actively watch it towards the close and trading sessions. So if there is a setup, I'll trade it for sure. Vinayak Agarwal, can these moves be captured on a bigger time frame? Yes. You mean if it is bigger time frame, like 15 minutes, 30 minutes, or like 1 hour or 4 hours like that, or daily? Yeah, as the duration increases, the magnitude of the move decreases. But yeah, for example, today's VA and I trade. So if I sold exactly at the point, so this is like for example, let's say this one. Okay, this is like a 70% move, right? I sold it here. So 70% move within half an hour or 1 hour. And yeah, so if I switch to 15 minutes, then there won't be like proper entry. So there is no setup. If I enter here, it's like chasing and all. I don't see a setup. As if I move to 30 minutes, then yeah, it will move. But that's why I tend to, this is my comfortable time frame. Everybody has their own. Somebody likes weekly, somebody likes daily, somebody like me likes 5 minutes, 15 minutes, somebody likes 1 minute. So yeah, so it's whatever is comfortable to that person. But yeah, when we're talking about the magnitude versus the duration, to me, I didn't see this kind of a comfortability or like this kind of a 70% move in this less duration in swing trading, because if I have to see this in my trades or portfolio, I have to wait weeks or months to see this kind of a move, and also it's in this a week or a month. Most of the times it goes in the direction, and also it slowly comes back and takes my buy point or stop loss. So because anything can happen within this in this time frame, in this duration, in a month, right? Any in the world, any market any news can come, and then whatever the strength it is showing, now I need to depend on the relative strength and all. But anyways, it didn't fit my personality. That's what I was trying to tell. And yeah, this is the magnitude versus duration concept that I was talking about. Amar Neburi, this sounds like a lot of stress watching these stocks on 5-minute and 15-minute. Do you agree, or is it personality trait? Yes, depends. It's like playing a video game, Amar. If I'm trying to actively trade, then for sure it's like a stress. Like, where is the setup? If I have to see the setup, and then, for example, if I want to find actively trying to trade, right, then it will be a stress. But what I want to incorporate is, what I'm trying to do is, I'll just watch this, and if there is a setup, it pulls me in. Instead of me forcing a trade, the market should pull me in. So with that kind of a mindset and with that kind of a style, I feel less stressful. But yeah, for sure, I need to be in front of the screens most of the times. And as I said, like, if market is weak or not many good runners, I'm okay. I'll take that, utilize that time to not watch screens, not to be in front of the computers. I'll go out and do something else. But yeah, there is pros and cons. For sure, yeah, there is. The cons is like, I locked it. It should be in front of the monitors and all those things. But the pros is like, where can I find the kind of for example, this kind of a performance I was only doing for the first, I was profitable in the beginning and all. And so this kind of a performance too, right? It's hard to pull that out without this kind of a strategy. So yeah, there's give and take. I agree. But yeah, and also it depends on the personality trait too, as you are saying. This is not for everyone. It has to suit their styles. I know, like Mark Wright and all, like, they're very good traders with swing trading and all. So it suits their personality. And also there are many people that I follow on Twitter. They are very good at what they are doing. So I think that's the main criteria. First of all, please choose a style that fits your style. Choose a trading style that fits your character. And then only we can grow, right? Otherwise, it will be a very problematic experience. Deepak Chauhan, what is the minimum volume you look for in a small cap to trade? The minimum is 1 volume in my scanner. Deepak, the scanner that I have is, where is it? 1 million volume, but the more the better. The more volume, the better.
Hey, Goverdhan.
Yeah.
Can I ask a quick question on, so this MPT and Minerva private access, so if somebody wants to do a swing trading like 2-3 months kind of thing, that won't work? That's not useful?
No, if you want to learn and all, it's definitely useful. There is a monthly subscription. I think quarterly, I'm not sure. Quarterly is there, and then yearly. So yeah, if you take like monthly subscription and all.
No, not from subscription point of view. The whole MPT program and this private access, that suits only for the intraday trading mentality, or can it be used for?
It's not intraday for sure. There is no either. For sure, it's not intraday. Mark doesn't even go to this 5-minute chart. This is the minimum. 1 day is the minimum he'll go back.
Yeah,
the daily chart is the minimum for him, the time frame. And then he will go upwards like weekly, but not to the 5-minute. So yeah, it won't suit to it. But these are the exact concepts that it's like a mixture of, as I was saying, right? I'm an intraday swing trader.
yeah.
These are the exact concepts that if I don't tell this is a 5-minute chart, this is the exact way, even MTP or in the MPA program that we were doing in the beginning.
Yeah.
Like
my goal is not to make 800% per year. I'm happy if I can make 20% per year.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I don't think so. That's true.
Yeah.
But even with, I was trying to say, with SOU and that this kind of a setup, right? If there is like perfect, there's strength in here and going sideways, it has that look. Maybe you take this
Mhm.
If you build a playbook setup like that, this tight action, like Kolomangi, what he does with his accounts, like there is a tight action with low volume. Maybe if we take this size, I'll enter here. This would be my stop loss. And then just that, I'll peel off. If somebody didn't tell me this is the daily chart, if it's a 5 minute, I would enter maybe here and then peel off here and then hold the remaining position at my point here and then see what it does in the next few days or weeks. And then add more do the trade management and less stressful. Like we don't need to be in front of the monitors all the time. Yeah, we can do the same thing, but as I was saying, this is.
Yeah, thanks, Gordon. I'll try to catch up. If I'm also from Dallas, so let's see.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. As I said, I am available on Twitter and the site, and I'm happy to talk.
I sent you a text, so if you can. Okay, thanks.
Sure.
I had a question also.
Yeah.
It's not too trading related, but when you went to college in 2000, if you knew that you're going to be this far and get this far, would you have still went to college?
I would have still went to college. I would have started early my trading. One thing that I regret is starting late. I am a 43-year-old now. I would have started early if I know these strategies and trading and all. By this time, I would have been making 7-8 figures. But
Right.
yeah, I would have started early, and I regret that because the earlier the better. At least if for not making money or anything like that, but more experience, and more there will be more time to make mistakes, and more experience, more time. I wasted so much time. That's what I felt. Even now, I try to teach my kids. My kids are 15 and 11. I try to at least I'll give a paper trading account. Just get the concepts. You don't need to make money or anything. Just continue with your studies. That's what I tell. And but in summer, when you have time, or in the weekends, or whenever you have time, just go through the things, charts, and just get the concepts. And later, maybe in future, when you are married and have kids, it will come handy. Maybe you will have a side income, like a part-time job, and
Yeah.
who knows, right? So why not? So I feel this is a very good income source, or like a game or portal for people who are introverts or who are very good at managing themselves. And where can I find? I made my yearly salary in 1 hour in couple of times last year.
Oh, wow.
I was like, where can I find this leisure, this luxury?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that it is what it is. Once we get to that level, yeah, it's definitely worth it. But yeah, for sure, we need to start early. That's one thing that's what I teach my kids to. But they're not interested. I know how it goes. They are not interested. It's okay, let it be. And I was willing to pay them like every 1 hour. Just I gave them Mark Minervini books and said,
I would have taken it. That's funny. Yeah.
Yeah, read this chapter and give me a 2-page synopsis, and I'll pay you $20. And then he doesn't do that. Yeah, it has to come from internal. No, it has to be personal. But anyways, hopefully I'm leading.
Yeah, I'm probably the youngest one on this call, so yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah, sure. So let me.
Goverdhan, this is Bal. I have another question. So you mentioned about the Minervini's MBA program. So how much time you personally spend with your subscribers on a weekday and weekend basis? What kind of value?
So, weekly, on Mondays, we used to have Q&A session. But it's like this Zoom session only. We used to ask questions on the chat, and we will go through that. That's the only time, and that's the only interaction. And now and then there will be, whenever there is a interview or a guest speaker, that we used to listen to that. And then the weekends, it's a one way. Like Mark will give the market report and watch list. That's it. Yeah.
Okay.
But all this will be recorded, and all these past Q&A sessions for the past 1 year, like there are other video tutorials, how to do progressive exposure, trade management, how to risk management, all those things. There are a bunch of tutorials which I find very useful. I was watching them over and over again, actually.
I was wondering if he is involving us to walk through a watch list, how he looks at the chart, how he prefers the watch list on a weekday.
Yeah, I know that he has the templates in the MarketSmith and all those kind of things. Yeah, he has like 40 years of experience into.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I read his books.
Yeah,
but you need more practice, more experience, like you said.
Yes.
Yeah, good.
Sure. And by the way, I'm not with MPA anymore. I was with MPA from 2020 August to 2021 August. And once I started day trading, I am on my own. But
Right.
that's a very good start I had. That's what I felt like.
Yeah, everyone has to start somewhere, right? Learn something and make mistakes, and learn something and make mistakes.
Yep.
For sure. Thank you.
I think we are up to the time. How are we doing with the time, Miles?
We're doing okay with the time. There are obviously a lot of questions. I'd suggest if you could just glance at some of the questions and maybe pick out the highlights that would be of use to folks.
Sure.
And because I don't think you want to answer all of them.
Yeah. Farhad, can you point out failed setups and what to look out for? I showed some mistakes that I did, Farhad, like biased thinking analysis and and re-entering with the sizes, like those kind of things I did. So yeah, those kind of failed setups. Manu, do you ever trade in the 1 minute chart? No, I tried a couple of times whenever, and it's too fast for my style. So I tried with 1 minute, 3 minute, 5 minute, 15 minutes in the past. And I concluded on the 5 minute most of the time. So 5 minute is the comfortable time for me. I think it will have enough time for me to think, analyze a pattern. So yeah, 5 minute is my favorite at the moment. Matt Jolly, how do you manage after hours slippage? Yeah, there will be some slippage. That's why I try to trade less or with less size, Matt. There will be some slippage for sure, but my thinking is if it is going in my direction, I don't mind the slippage much. So I'm that kind of a guy. Brian, how long do you when it looks like it's breaking out to decide to jump in? Do you wait for volume surge or try to get in as soon as it is breaking the range? So most of the times for example, here, when there's volume to the left side, when it's breaking out, I actually anticipate that the volume is gonna follow up because there is in the left side, it has the volume. I don't wait because when I analyze the setup, for sure, there should be volume and there should be price action upwards, and then my setup forms. So when the breakout happens, that whatever the volume in the left side, it will automatically come up. So I just look at the price in that cases, and mostly when it's breaking out the price, I'll enter. Farhad, do you wait for the bar to close or enter right at the break? I'll enter right at the break, Farhad. It looks like you used to swing low as top rather than the bar low in that equation. So sometimes I wait for the bar to close. For example, here I waited for the bar to close and then in the next bar I enter. So yeah, it depends on like where the highs of the setup is, how it's going in how the look of the setup is. Miles has a recording there. Bruce, what platform do you use to input your broker statements for statistics? Trader Sync is the platform, Bruce, but there are other very good platforms too. I think Trader View or something like that. Yeah, please, you can search for that. Daniel, what platform do you use to record in and do the math performance? For recording, I use this Camtasia software, the video recording software, but there are free tools too. That's what I came to know too. But if it's statistics, that the screens that I showed, like the win percentage or the number of trades and all, that's called Trader Sync. That's the platform that I subscribe to. Yeah, thanks, Matt. I'm at the central time. Prasad, do you use hard stops or mental stops? Most of the times hard stops, sometimes mental stops. In this kind of scenarios, as soon as it goes in my direction, if I'm going in with size, actually I don't put a stop loss with the broker, with the platform. Since I'm watching the screen anyways, I have a mental stop that I'm exiting the below of this bar. Most of the times I don't even wait until here and exit whenever it's coming down. Sometimes I don't use hard stops. And when it goes in my direction, and if I have to be away from the screen or step out and come back or for 5 minutes, and then I'll just put a hard stop and then go. Are you available on Kinfo? No, I'm not, Hikaru. Okay, so Elia, I think I answered that question. If I had to go back to 2004, you went to university, you still haven't. This is a peculiar question because just to come to USA, right, from India, I need to be as a student. So for sure, I would go to the university. Maybe if I'm a citizen here, I would think about that question. I would have thought about that question, but in my case, I would definitely go to the university. Elia. Matt, where do you get float info from? It's not in Thinkorswim. It is in Thinkorswim, Matt. Shares, that's all. They call it as shares. Here, please go to this widget, this settings widget, customize it. And then in the left side, you will see type in shares. Get to the right side, you will see that column to your thing. Koti, how do you screen or filter criteria for the small cap stocks? I went through that. Koti, please watch the.
Yeah. Thank you. Got the answer.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Kiran, for someone starting new, where should one start? Resources. I would say please start small with a small account, risk small, and try to find your comfortable time frame. And then don't lose much, please. So first year of day trading, I forgot to tell you, first year of day trading, I was risking only $20 per trade, risk per trade. And that's what I did the whole year. Every trade, $20 risk. So yeah, start small and slowly you will understand. It takes a long time for in the trading, as everybody said, right? Like it's a degree that we need to get, like a PhD or a pilot or doctor, like everybody goes through that, lawyer, right? It's a degree like that. Even though it is simple to click the buttons, it doesn't need any qualification. But to get mastery in this, it takes time. Please, so I start small, go through Twitter. There are many useful handles, important free resources out there on Twitter. It's overwhelming actually. YouTube, but don't try to, like, what do you say, grasp the information and try on your own and see what works for you. Risk small, start small, and please think long term. Don't think in months or something like that. Please think in years, long term. So that would be helpful. Barry, what is the difference between shares and volume on Thinkorswim watchlist? Shares is the float, and the volume is like how many hands or transactions it's happening in the time frame. Robert, 5 minutes feels like ages sometimes. Yeah. Yeah. Once you're used to this, sometimes the closing of the 5-minute bar, like I'll get so comfortable that this will take ages. Like it's very slow, and then I have so much time to kill that. Yeah. Once you get comfortable that, so definitely. Matt, do you have more success when daily chart is bullish or more stocks advancing versus negative on the day? Yeah, Matt, for sure. I'll align my thesis whenever there is a daily action. For example, whenever there is intraday, for sure I'll zoom out. As I said, I zoom out and try to see where it is in the context of daily. And for example, in this case, VKTX, it had this strong gap up and then it closed good yesterday. Now it started here, so it's doing a continuation run. So I'll align my intraday thesis if I'm trading this day. I align this with the daily and see where it is, and then now I'll have more confidence doing the intraday trade here. So yeah, I do that. Delta Bravo, how to scan for small caps using Trader View Screener, Goverdhan Gajjala style. Thank you. There is a Google Docs presentation there. James, for progressive risk management, what is the lowest size in percentage, and how much do you increase percentage when you're doing good? Vice versa, how much do you decrease percentage wise when you're not doing good? It's all personal, James. I would say I'm comfortable at this point of stage after 3 years of day trading and all. I would do it very fast, like 5% to 10% to, and then 2.5 and then 2% and then like that. But some people, the beginner traders, I would say 1% or 0.25% or something like that. But yeah, and there are times when if I'm in drawdowns and all, I go to 1% or risk management. So like that. So yeah, it's a mix and match. There is nothing concrete. It's all personal and what suits to the personality of the trader. They have to risk accordingly. And for sure, trading is all about risk management. It's 100% risk management only. And the upside will take care of itself. All that a trader needs to do is control the risk. Amar, please call me. Yeah, sure, Amar. I'll take a notes of it, but whenever I find time. Okay. Delta Bravo to configure GG scanner or think of TC Trader TC2000. Yeah, thanks, Amar. Sorry, thanks, Delta. Rajiv, generally, what will be your risk rewards ratio? It all varies, Rajiv, but as you saw my stats, it's 3.5 to 1, 4 to 1, something like that on average. Membership recordings. Thank you. Yeah, thank you all. That's all. I think I went through all the questions. Yeah. Okay, I hope you find another movie to visit. No more movies for me. I think found my passion. I was passionate, but one thing is I'm an introvert and I like to do my own things. But movie is a different world. It involves lots of people, managing other people and all. I didn't like that part of it. I know that I like the shooting and all, the filming of it, but the post production, marketing, promotions, and all the release, it's a headache. Yeah, I don't want to go back to that. Yeah. Me too. Thank you for your 10 GG and thanks for the inspiration. Thank you. Yeah, I hope at least if some people, a few traders, they got some material out of this, and if I could help them, that's great. That's all.
Thank you so much, Gigi.
Thank you.
Very informative. Unfortunately, I believe Vas was kicked out Vas is online. He was kicked off due to internet issues, but thank everyone for being here. And I think that's it, unless you have anything else.
So this recording will be available, right?
I'll send you a link, and I've posted a link for folks to get it.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks.
Goverdhan, actually, I am online, but my wife is actually doing a yoga session. Our internet is occupied. But I just want to thank you so much for your time and incredible presentation. I really appreciate it. And I think you helped out quite a few people to give them on which way to go. So thank you so much.